Hello and welcome to a new edition of our program Women's World, and in this edition of the program we will talk about women's effort to promote sports here in Egypt, and we will have an interview with the president of the Egyptian Badminton Federation, but first we'll go for a short break and we'll be back, so stay tuned. Welcome back, dear viewers, and now we are joined over the phone by Dr. Hadil Hosni, President of Egyptian Badminton Federation. Good afternoon, Dr. Hadil.
Good afternoon.
So let's start by asking you, why did you choose this kind of sports?
It's a long story short.
Yes.
That this sport, I used to play it when I was 11 years old, and I knew it by chance. I was actually a rhythmic gymnastics player and squash player and horse riding player. But due to my squash, it was actually my coach who was a national team player in badminton, and he introduced badminton to me. So that's how the story started back in 2000 and until now.
And what is interesting about this sport?
Actually, badminton combines individual sports as well as team events.
Yes.
So you can play singles, you can play doubles, you can play mixed doubles, and also you can play team events. So you can depend on yourself, and you can actually also have the teamwork and play with your teammates.
Do you think? Yes. Yes.
You need to be fast, you need to be strong, you need to be flexible, you have to have fast reactions. So it's an interesting sport, and it's enjoyable as well. Until 80s, they still play badminton.
And do you think that this sport is popular now in Egypt?
This sport is not as popular as other sports in Egypt. But we are trying to introduce it into schools, universities, and now we have the para badminton. It started back in 2017 when our champion Yasmina Isa, she went to World Championships for para badminton. And we are trying to introduce not only badminton but para badminton and air badminton as well, which can be played in the air, not a must that you have to play it in a hall.
So now, as president of Egyptian Badminton Federation, are you the first woman to be appointed in this position?
Yes, I'm the first woman to be appointed as president, but we have actually many council members And now also we have two board members, two other board members also, they are ladies. So we are coming.
Yes, tell me, as a woman, and you are now heading an important position, what are the challenges that face you in your position?
Well, actually, I just started this position, so what we first faced that we had very short time to prepare for Para Badminton Egypt International, which was held last week and it ended yesterday. But this challenge is for women and for men as well, because it was so short time to be prepared for this high-level event, which is level 2 BWF tournament. And it was also for para badminton, and you know the wheelchairs, they need you to be well prepared.
Yes.
For their safety and security as well. This is the first challenge, and also our next challenge is that Africa Championship is within the next 15 days, so it's also a very short time. But we managed to provide a Chinese coach. He just arrived 2 weeks ago, and I hope that he makes a difference in our sport in Egypt.
So if we talk about the government support to women's athletes, how do you evaluate this?
Actually, I evaluated that in the past 10 years, it's been strongly getting better with having our President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi supporting women. So, it's getting better for women, and we have ministers, we have government positions and governors, so women now are in many leading positions.
So if we talk about Egyptian players, especially women, to what extent they are excelling in the field of sports in general here in Egypt?
Excuse me, can you repeat again?
If we talk about women and Egyptian players, especially women, to what extent they are excelling in the field of sports here in Egypt? Not only in badminton.
They are actually excelling. Our last gold medal in Tokyo, it was for a girl, and actually for in the bronze medal as well, for Hidayah Malak and for Diana Farouk, the gold was for Riel. So in Tokyo we got many medals, and also Sarah Samir in Paris. So we have very strong women in many sports now. They are equally compared to men, as I believe.
Can you tell us more about your achievements as a badminton player?
As a badminton player, I was #1 in Africa.
Yes.
In singles and in doubles, and actually I went to 3 Olympic Games, Beijing 2008, and London 2012, as well as Tokyo 2020, which was my last Olympic Games. And besides by many international tournaments as well as Arabian tournaments and African tournaments.
So what did you learn from this sport?
Can you repeat it?
What did you learn? What did you learn from this sport?
What is what?
What did you learn from this sport, badminton? What did it teach you?
It taught me, it's my whole life actually. It taught me a lot, starting from traveling, from the challenges we face. Actually, sports is my whole life. It taught me everything, and besides my pharmacy career, I think sports had a main role for me to excel in the other careers, as well as being in the Egyptian parliament, and also through sports I went to the political side.
So you've just mentioned that you are a member in the Egyptian parliament, right?
Yes.
Yes, so this is another thing that you are doing besides your work. Can you tell us more about your experience in this domain?
Actually, my experience in the Egyptian Parliament was very good in the past few years. I was in the Sports and Youth Committee. I understood so many things that I didn't know before. And also besides politics, like my political information was not that strong, so I built up a lot from that experience.
Yes. Also, if you look at the Egyptian Parliament, you will find that we have many female members. We have a very big quota of women. So tell us more about this.
We have now more than 15%, and a lot of women actually in the Parliament this time. And I think they are growing more and more. And from actually the Parliament, we have governors appointed as well as ministers. So I think the experience in the Egyptian Parliament, it brings out many ladies as ministers as well.
So what is your dreams for badminton sport here in Egypt?
Excuse me?
Your dreams for badminton, your plans.
The plans?
Yes.
Our plans actually is to strengthen in all of the cities in Egypt, because we only have few cities like Cairo, Bani Suef, Suez, Fayoum, so they are not as much, so we need to spread in the whole country, as well as to have many champions not only qualify for the Olympic Games, but start to compete strongly and get a lot of medals in world championships and Olympic Games.
And finally, tell us, Hadia, what are the challenges that face you in your work?
Well, the challenges are a lot, so you don't have to count them, and I actually go beyond the challenges and try not to not to remember them.
Yes.
Because there are everyday challenges that we cannot
deny, of course. Yes.
Yes, deny them. So
you are working on them.
It's okay to have the challenges and to work on them. Yes, like everywhere and every day, everybody faces a lot of challenges.
So tell me a message for Egyptian girls who are not keen to get engaged in any kind of sport. What is your message to them?
Well, I think they should watch para sports, the Paralympics, the para badminton, and they will know that nothing is beyond, there is no limit for anything.
Yes.
And they should keep going and try their best, and they should get engaged in any of the sports or actually hobbies like drawing, music, anything, and look forward for achieving something, and hopefully they will reach it, inshallah.
Yes, I'd like to thank you, Dr. Hadia Hosni, President of the International Badminton Federation. Thank you, Dr. Hadia, for being with us, and give viewers a short break, and we'll be back, so stay tuned.